All right, gather around, light warriors. We have a very powerful topic for discussion tonight. Why the modern woman is broken compared to the real divine feminine. You know, there are certain problems that are plaguing society, and in order for us to do better as a species, we're going to have to get to the root of the problem. And in tonight's discussion, I'm going to dive deep into many subconscious programs and certain things that I discovered years ago when I was younger. If you're new to the channel, I'm Michael. I discuss the ascension journey and I make the lessons relevant for everyday life people. We have a very big problem in the modern society, and it's the problem is known as the modern woman. And you know, there is a stark difference when you see the behaviors of different types of women. So the divine feminine is going to act a certain way, and I'm here to tell you, any person that is tuned into this video tonight, if you are the modern woman, I'm going to lead off and tell you that it's not your fault. It's not your fault. And what I'm here to do, I hope that every person around the world really hears this, because these are going to give us the answers to how we can do better. And once we identify the problem, then we could all do better. We could actually be harmonious. We could have a true, something called unconditional love. And we're going to have a lot of happiness in our lives. And we're actually going to have something that's very important called a very calm nervous system. And so in order to teach this lesson, I'm going to go back to my past. And in our lives, when we start to observe and then we come back and we process, you say, why is this happening in these real life examples? So I'm going to give you some real life examples, and we're going to break them down, and then we're going to get to those root problems, which are actually the subconscious programs. Years ago, when I was in high school and in my earlier years, I noticed something. I discovered something. I discovered that the Latinas, the Latin women, oh, they would go crazy for me. Yeah. You know, years ago, I didn't understand this. I had a friend, John, and he was a bit older than me, and we had this conversation, and we would look and we say, wow, the Latinas, the Latin women, they would go crazy for us. I would use the term not play any games. They would come right over to me. Hey, are you a Latina? Do you love your Uncle Mike? Why don't you let us know in the comments? So years ago, I didn't understand this. I just took it at face value. I said, oh, I guess you know, Latinas just happen to like me, you know. And now in the future, when I started to realize this is the reason why, because these girls, these Latina girls, growing up in Brooklyn, I grew up in Brooklyn. All right, maybe you're from Brooklyn as well. So this was my background. I went to the public schools, and in the area, there were many Latinas from different countries, and they were immigrants. They weren't from the United States. Do you know about the United States, right? So these girls, they were not from the country. Okay, so their parents were immigrants, and in their home, they were missing something, and they were able to tap into their normal divine feminine intuition without the programs, which we're going to talk about, from mainstream media, movies, TV shows. Okay, so all of these girls, all of these women, they were from different countries, different cultures, and they weren't programmed like a lot of the modern woman of society. So years ago, I took it at face value. I said, I guess Latin women just love me. But when I I started to break this down. I had a friend experience the same thing. What we can take from today, these women that were not under the mind control, the subconscious programs that normalized. I'm going to talk about how mainstream media glorifies dysfunction, romanticizes cheating, okay, and certain things on social media that how you are programmed, how to extract maybe things from men instead of actually loving them with unconditional love. I walk around with something. Oh yeah, I walk around with something, Light Warriors. I walk around with something called BDE. Yeah, I walk around with it. Do you know about BDE? Yeah. I walk around with big divine energy. That's what I do. And women, okay, when they pick up on a true man, a true divine masculine, and I want to put this in perspective, okay? Even years ago when I was in high school, okay, I was like the Karate Kid, okay? I had no muscle tone. I had the big coif. Okay, you want to say, hey, what did you look like in high school, right? I look like the Karate Kid, okay? Gi falling off me. I actually took karate, all right? So there was a vibe, and these girls that were not from the country, okay, or they were just born here in the background in the home, right? They were not programmed with a lot of these things. So the woman, the divine feminine intuition, you are supposed to use your intuition to pick up on something, okay? Something that is telling you that this is the frequency of the man, which a lot of women in society, they are programmed for something else. Okay, so these girls years ago, they were not programmed from movies, TV shows. There's a lot of sick, demented programs that glorify dysfunctional relationships. They normalize cheating, okay? Romanticize cheating like this is a normal thing. And there was even something years ago, MTV. What happened to MTV? Did anyone know? Oh, MTV's finished. Remember when MTV was about music and love? Remember music? MTV, and then all of a sudden, I don't know, there was all these programs. Where is MTV today? Does anyone know? You could let me know in the comments. No, MTV doesn't exist anymore. So there was a lot of programs that was getting in the brains. They were getting in the brains of the women. Okay, if this message is resonating with you so far, I appreciate if you click the like button. Okay, we're going to tackle the most important things that are the problems of society. All right, and what you would see on these TV shows, it's normalizing this behavior instead of getting to unconditional love, right? Building a family, so on and so forth. All right, and subconscious programs, sometimes they're not up in your face. Oh, no, Light Warriors. I think the stuff that you see on the TV shows, you see them in the movies today, it's kind of crystal clear. But I want to take you on a trip. We're going to go back in the time machine, baby. And we're going to go to something. We're going to go to a movie. Oh, we're going to go to a sweet apple pie movie, Light Warriors, yeah. It's called Titanic. You ever see Titanic? Yeah. Titanic. But there is a subconscious, subliminal thing there in Titanic. And I'm using this because this is like something that's not in your face. A lot of people love Titanic. You say, oh, what a great movie, right? But one of the main ideas of this movie was actually promoting cheating and romanticizing cheating. Okay, now I'm using this example. I think a lot of us know the guy in the movie. He was kind of an a-hole, right? Oh, there's Jack. He was a nice guy, right? And I get that, right? Remember the end of the movie? I'll never let you go, Jack. There he goes. Dump him out into the cold water. Remember that at the end? So anyway, I'm just using this because it's so not in your face. Okay, I think all of us know that guy was an a-hole, so it's not like, it was like, bad and good. What is bad or good? But there's a subconscious program, and it's glorifying, it's romanticizing cheating. And this was in the movie. And a lot of women, they say, oh, I have to have this chaos. I have to have this dysfunction. I have to romanticize about this. So I'm here to actually tell the modern woman, how you doing? It's actually not your fault. You are exposed to all these things, all these movies, these TV shows that are romanticizing and glorifying dysfunction, romanticizing and glorifying cheating. And now you have social media influencers and the catty women, you know. You better make sure you got him. Make sure you got that ring. Make sure you got him, right? Take half his pension. You know, a real man that wants to, he needs a woman that he could build with. Do you understand this? A person, all right, can't look behind his shoulder. And I'm here to tell all the men out there, okay? If you're the divine masculine and you're not manipulated by lust, you're good, right? I'm a person. I could take care of myself. I could cook. I do all these things, right? You got to bring something spiritual to the table, all right? So I'm here to tell everyone, the divine feminine is the backbone of the family. I could see this within my mother. I could see this from my nana. The divine feminine is the backbone, all right? And all my divine feminines, I appreciate you out there, right? You love your Uncle Mike, right? But this is lost. This is lost in the modern society. So I want you to really understand the stark difference. And a lot of this is in the subconscious programs. Proverbs 14:1, every wise woman builds her home. A foolish woman destroys her home with her own hands and tongue. So you have to realize this. There's a lot of foolish women in this world that are destroying homes instead of building them up. There's a stark difference. Every person in life, you have to take ownership, you have to take responsibility, and I'm here to tell you, you might not be able to control it because this is coming from the subconscious and you're actually not conscious about it. There's something for those people that maybe you grew up in the United States, right? And you saw some of these programs on the TV. Right now I'm growing up, right? I know many people are tuned in, right? Where are you from? You could let us know. There are people that are tuned in from other countries. They don't, you know, I even spoke to some women, right? The Brazilian women love me. They're part of the community. It's good to see everyone, right? And they don't understand it. And like they're not even exposed to this. They have no clue, right? A lot of divine feminists say, well, what is this guy talking about? You don't know what it, you feel bad for me? I'm a single guy in the United States. It's wild what has happened, but I'm here to tell people, and remember this. So I'm not blaming you, but as your divine masculine leader, I'm course directing you, and I'm telling you what you need to fix, and it's not your fault. So maybe you need to stop. Maybe you have to say to yourself, you know what? Maybe I was programmed by what people said on social media. Maybe I was programmed by mainstream media and TV shows glorifying dysfunction, romanticizing cheating. And, you know, certain women are a different creature. You might still be triggered by this. You know, you got to fight through it. If you're a person that says all men are the same and so on and so forth, these are deep-rooted issues that you have to work on and fight through it and fix it. It's all subconscious programming. And I encourage, you know, really the majority of our channel, we're over 60% are females or women. So what we see in society, and I live in the United States. So this is something that I am, I'm viewing, I'm observing. It's part of everyday life here. Do you live in the United States? Do you see this behavior? And that's why I'm giving this very deep talk, because there are people in other countries. You might tune into this and you don't have a clue. Maybe it happens in your country. Okay, you could let us know in the comments. But years ago, you know, who would have thought years ago, I used to say, oh, I guess all these Latina girls, they don't play games. They just come over and they say hello, and it was just a thing. But now in the future, I realized that they didn't have this background. They didn't have all this nonsense. They were coming from their intuition. If you're a woman, you gotta feel with your intuition, and that's the problem. That people are operating out of the brain and they're not operating out of their heart. You got to operate out of your heart space. All right, and it's a very powerful thing. I hope that anyone could see this. I've always seen it's always loops. People do it all the time. You will never be fulfilled if you're the modern woman that's hearing this and I got to get my bag. I've hung out with women, right? And they like to talk about all the body work that they did, and my ex-husband and this other ex-husband, and he was this, and they're flaunting all of the money that you reaped and consumed from your previous marriage. Men like me don't care about. I feel bad for that guy. I don't like that. Do you? We have deep chats on this channel. I appreciate if you click subscribe, especially our men that are sitting there in silence. I'll be the voice for the voiceless. I say to myself, I feel bad for that. I don't want that. I just wanted the girl reading her book on the beach, working out, like normal stuff. But what we need to do, and again, I'm telling you, I'm telling you it's not your fault. You were programmed. You were programmed in the subconscious from the TV shows and the movies and all this other stuff. So I hope that the main idea, and if you're getting triggered, you're gonna have to deal with it, okay? And if it really resonated with this, please share this video across the world. But we don't want to glorify through these shows dysfunction, romanticize cheating, because people are going to see this, and then you're programmed, and if it's this is boring. It's boring to be a nice guy. It's you. You were programmed. It's time to break the program. I hope that in this lesson, we understand why the modern woman is broken compared to a real divine feminine. If you are the divine feminine and this resonates, I appreciate it. If you share it, leave a comment. All right, and also if you're from different countries and you have different cultures, and maybe you're just watching novellas and you don't have all these crazy TV shows on the TV. What's on the TV? Oh, there's all this crazy stuff on the TV. So I appreciate each and every one of you. And if you want to stay positive, if you want to do the inner work, the shadow work, why don't you click the subscribe button, show up every day, get rid of the mainstream media. Why don't you put our everyday lives, okay? You get your smart TV, download the YouTube app, put me up on a TV, and we're going to make this year and every year the best year of our life. We're going to do better. We're going to be healthy, wealthy, and wise. We're going to understand the subconscious. We're going to understand the nervous system. Because when your nervous system is calm, all these other things aren't going to affect your everyday life. Daily videos, 9 a.m. Eastern time. It's time for us to be the greatest version. So I love you all. I'm looking forward to looking at the comment section. Oh, baby. Okay, I have part 1. It's over here, okay, in this series. Check it out. All right, and I appreciate the like, comment, share, and push this forward. I am the defender of our everyday lives. No matter what comes your way, Light Warriors, just keep going.